I think post-Ferguson, the public has read a lot of stuff in the media. I mean, my gosh, and the 24/7 news outlets, are talking a lot about different incidents around the country. And I think it's very easy for people to perhaps get the impression that, gee whiz, the police are out of control, the police are abusing people's rights, or I mean, I read a story that the first line of the story was, at a certain rate, the police are, will kill this many people, this year. And you read that, and I mean, it sounds awful. And I understand that what the story was about, police use of deadly force, but just the way it's worded, I mean, certainly it gives the public the impression that, there's a problem with police behavior around the country. And I can talk till I'm blue in the face about what the reality is and that sort of thing. But when people see the numbers, when they see the numbers of contacts that we have with the public, and we have in Montgomery County, we probably have 500,000 contacts with the public every year, and that's traffic stops, that's arrests, that's calls for service. I mean, when we come in contact with a member of the public and we're doing our job, you have 500,000 contacts a year, and when you look at the number of those contacts that result in any kind of use of force, and I'm talking about just somebody who's resisting and you're trying to put handcuffs on them, all the way up to a deadly force situation. When you find out that that is just like a fraction of 1%, it's way less than 1% of any of the contacts we have that result in some kind of use of force, I think that information speaks for itself. And and I'm not saying that every single use of force, every single use of deadly force shouldn't be investigated, shouldn't be reviewed, and that the police should be held accountable for their actions. Absolutely, that needs to happen, and it has happened. But I do think that when you put this information out there, it gives the public can have some context to those those harsh statements about police are killing 1,000 people a year, or whatever the headline is. It puts some context to that information that you could just sort of cherry pick that one bit of data and say, gee whiz, there must be a problem. And but if you give it more context, folks can make, I think, a more informed judgment about just what an issue, how much of an issue use of force is for a particular police department.
One of the real benefits that I see in data Montgomery is previous forms of communications, such as listservs and email blasts. I have found often the information being put out is, in fact, inaccurate. It is overstating the crime. It is creating a perception of fear in our communities that truly doesn't exist. And with Data Montgomery and both the police officers as well as community members and community leaders being able to drill into this information, they're going to get that accurate picture, and they're going to see, do we really have a problem here? Should I be concerned? Or is that stuff I'm seeing on my listservs and my email blasts a little bit inaccurate?
The trust that everyone is looking for in this point in time, that's a huge issue. And open data is clearly that vehicle that is used to promote trust. Oftentimes, singular actions are misunderstood as trends. However, without data, one cannot really allay, those misconceptions.
Anybody, no matter where you live, you want to believe that your police department is well-intentioned, well-informed, and is doing the right things to keep a community safe. And I think the more information that we can put out to the community, the more confidence they will have that the Montgomery County Police Department is in fact well-intentioned, well-informed, and doing the right things to keep neighborhoods safe. As the president of Major City Chiefs Association, I can tell you that we talk about this all the time, and the large police departments from around the country. We just had our conference just recently, and it was a topic of conversation about how we're increasing our transparency and accountability to the public we serve in each of our cities and counties. And this is something that has really resonated with all police departments throughout this country. I mean, there's 18,000 police departments in the United States of America, and so there's 18,000 different police chiefs that are thinking, okay, this is what's right for my police department, for my community. And so yeah, I think you have an array of philosophies and opinions about what people should be putting out to the public, but more and more and more you're hearing that police departments understand that if they're going to earn the trust and confidence of the community that they serve, that they need to be accountable, they need to be transparent, and the more information that they put out there, I think the more opportunities there are for the public to have that confidence in their police department.
This is something that is not just going to go away in a year or two and people are going to say, oh, okay, well now kind of like the controversy maybe around law enforcement or some of the national narrative is going away and so we don't need this anymore. This is something that is here to stay. It's very substantive. It is crafting how we make decisions in our communities, how we communicate with our communities, how we make decisions with allocation of resources, how our commands make decisions on where and how and what means we're going to use to fight crime, to keep our communities safe. And so how we navigate that and how we build on the trust with our communities, this is integral to that process. And it's as important as just about anything else that we're doing.